Hi everyone, this is Mike here with a brief video about getting started in Blackboard and in MyOpenMath. If you're watching this video, it probably means you're already in Blackboard, but I do want to show you some important tools that could be useful throughout the session. And because this is such a condensed session compared to a regular semester, it's really important that you get started on these tools as soon as possible so that you can get comfortable with the material and get started on the course. So I just want to show you through some of the course aspects here. So we're in the Analytic Geometry and Calculus 1 Summer 2018 course. If you click on Start Here, you'll see a range of things. There's a welcome message and then the welcome video, which has an unfortunate screen capture there with me and my sleepy eye. A description about how Blackboard throughout this session is going to be primarily for virtual office hours. So most of what you're going to do in the course is going to take place in MyOpenMath, but Blackboard has a great utility called Collaborate, which we're going to use if you'd like to meet with me virtually. There's information here about getting started in MyOpenMath. I'll show you a little bit more detail about that in just a few minutes. You'll notice here is the course ID and here is the enrollment key. Those two pieces of information are extremely important as you register in MyOpenMath, so keep those in mind. There's also some policies about netiquette, which is important for online courses, some minimum technical skills that you'll need, and minimum technology that you'll need to use throughout the session. If you have questions about any of these things, please be sure to send me an email or contact me through MyOpenMath. So that's the Start Here menu. You'll see the announcements here. At the moment, there are no announcements. I will probably send you a couple of announcements in the first week or so of class, and then after that, I'll communicate with you primarily through MyOpenMath. If you click on the My Instructor link, you'll get a picture of me with a little bit less of a sleepy eye and some information about how to contact me. Also, a little bit about my background and things a little bit about me personally, and then a couple of links about contacting me via email or meeting me in the virtual office hours, which I want to talk a little bit about next. There's a link here in the Blackboard menu called Virtual Office Hours. And when you click on that, you'll see some directions about how to use Blackboard Collaborate. But I'm just going to give you a quick rundown right now. If you click on Collaborate Ultra here, also be aware that Collaborate Ultra works best in Chrome and Firefox, especially if you want to share your screen, which often is useful. So if you click on the Collaborate Ultra link here, it will take you to a page that has our course room. So you can see our course room right here. And if you click on this icon on the right-hand side, you can click Join Course Room. And from there, click on the link Join from a browser. And it will take you to the course room where you can share your audio, you can share your video, and there are opportunities to share your screen and to look at a whiteboard that we both can write on and draw on together and basically figure out any questions or concerns that you might have in the course. So I encourage you strongly to take advantage of this option because it's a really useful tool, especially if we cannot meet in person on the Forest Park campus. So I'm going to leave this session right now. I'm going to skip the survey, and then we go back to our Blackboard course menu, and I'll just show you the syllabus and the schedule portion. The syllabus document link will take you directly to the syllabus document, and this takes you to the weekly checklist. Both of them are interactive documents, so they have in particular a table of contents which you can use to navigate throughout the document. So for example, if you want to scroll, instead of scrolling all the way down to the calendar, you can just click on that link and it will take you to the various important dates in the course. If you scroll all the way back up again and you want to say go back to the course overview, then you can click on that link and so forth. I want to point out, sometimes people ignore this weekly checklist, but I think it's a very valuable tool. This will basically tell you everything you need to do throughout each week, and it can be useful to figure out what kinds of things need to happen in various places so that you know what's expected of you at any given time. The first week of the course is extremely intense. And so it's good if you can to get started even in the few days before class officially begins, because that'll take some of the pressure off, especially in terms of the review and making sure you can brush up on your algebra and trig skills. So let's go back to the Blackboard menu. And if you click on this last link here that says MyOpenMath, it takes you to a link where you can log in to MyOpenMath and to a folder that will contain this video and also gives that course ID and enrollment key again and gives you some directions about how to get started. So there's this video right here, and then another couple of videos and links about accessibility and a different perspective on getting started in MyOpenMath in case this video is not as helpful as I hope it will be. So let's go ahead and go into MyOpenMath. I want to show you a few things about it. And when you click on the link here, you should be taken to this page. And if you have not used MyOpenMath before, you want to click on Register as a New Student, where you'll be taken to this page where you can create your own username and password. Be sure to keep that password safe so that you can remember it, especially. Please enter an email address that you check. I will be communicating to you via MyOpenMath, and if you enter an email address here that you don't regularly check, that's going to make it hard for you to receive important messages from me. And then here is where you enter the course ID and the enrollment key that has been mentioned in several different places. So once you set those things up, you should be able to log in to the class, and when you log in, you will see a page that looks like this, and you can go into Calc 1 there, and you'll see this. Now, this is basically what the course looks like when you log into MyOpenMath. You can see that there's a Start Here menu or a Start Here block, a block for weekly discussion forums, a block for potentially useful videos, and then several blocks for each unit of actual math material in the course. Now you'll notice that next to each block is one of these little triangles, and that means that you can expand the block further. So if I click on the block itself, it'll drop down and open up the rest of the block. So you can see links to the welcome video in the Start Here menu, links to the syllabus and the weekly checklist again. Here's another block. You can see the triangle here for course tools. Here's a link to the textbook. The textbook, normally I'm going to link you directly to the section number that I want you to look at, but here is a link to the textbook as a whole. We're going to be using the free online graphing calculator called Desmos, and so there's a couple of links related to that. We'll also be using Wolfram Alpha and some spreadsheets from time to time, and so there are links related to those things, but I'll provide you links to them as well further into the course. I want to say a couple of things about the weekly discussion forums. I'll have more to say in another video, but for now, I just want to remind you that the weekly discussion forums are a part of your grade, and every week you should be posting at least once. Now, in particular, the thing that you're supposed to post, you can actually post a couple of different things. You have options for what you post every week, and that's described pretty carefully in the syllabus document. So if you go back to the syllabus, you can see here there's a portion that says when posting to a weekly discussion forum, So you have two main choices when posting to a weekly discussion forum. You can either post a question for your classmates to answer, or you can answer one of your classmates' questions. But in every case, you should always do three things in particular. And for now, I won't go into great detail about that, but I do want you to read that portion of the syllabus carefully so that you can get full credit when you are posting to the discussion forums once a week. Remember, you have two options. You can post a question for others to answer, or you can answer a classmate's question, and either one will give you credit toward that discussion forum grade. Right now, the only video that will be in here is the welcome video, but as the first week goes on, and certainly as we get close to the end of the course, I'll be posting a lot of other resources in this block that might help get you going in the course. And then a couple of quick things about these units. So the units will look like this when you open up a unit. You will see in Unit 1, it's a review unit. So here you'll see the link to the diagnostic tests that I mentioned in the welcome video. And then you'll see various sections of material. Here, these are review sections, and so at the end of all of these sections is an assignment. Usually, there's an assignment within each section, and I'll show you that in a minute. But in particular, the review, the two main things you want to do in the review are to look over these diagnostic tests and check on the things that you need to refresh your memory and skill about. And also, it's important to do this assignment number 1, which is your first graded assignment in the course. Now you can see that the assignment is due on Wednesday, June 6th, and it also mentions that there's a late pass allowed. Late passes are links that enable you to extend the deadline of any assignment by 3 days. So make sure that if it looks like you aren't going to be able to finish an assignment on time, that you click on the late pass link, which will extend your deadline by a couple of days, by 3 days actually, and will give you a little bit of time to finish what you're working on. Unit 2 will look a little bit more typical because inside each section, so you'll see Unit 2 learning outcomes here. If I click on that, that will take me to the page that is all the things that you're supposed to be learning in this section. And if you go back and look at section 2.1, this is more typically what a section will look like. You'll see a link to a bunch of video lessons. So these videos you can see are usually about 5 or 10 minutes long, and there's several different kinds of videos to show you examples and some important theory behind the material that you're learning. So you can watch videos as if you were in class and taking notes. There's a textbook link to the same topics, and then after you've looked through the videos and the textbook links, then you should be ready to start the assignment. And you can see this assignment is due on Wednesday the 13th. It also allows a late pass. And if you click on the assignment here, you'll see there's about 10 items. That's pretty typical, between 10 and 15 items for the assignments. And it's a free response item. Typically they're free response items, but there are some multiple choice or true-false from time to time assignment. I'll say more about that in another video in just a few days. That should just about do it. One last thing, for now, you'll notice you can see all the units as they line up for the course, but you can see, for example, that Unit 4 doesn't yet have anything in it. And when you open up Unit 4 a little bit before exam number 1, all the material should be available to you a little bit later on in the course. So these blocks for now are empty to encourage you to stay focused on these first couple of units. But as the course goes on, the material will become available to you then. In the meantime, please get started. Get as far as you can, as soon as you can. These first couple weeks are the most intense part of the course. If you have any questions or concerns, please be sure to let me know. Good luck.